So watch what you say. No, so spiritually based programs are very important.
Yeah, because I haven't seen a lot of people prosper and grow out of their addiction just
through
with
God,
that
with God's help.
Right.
Exactly.
But when you go on the IRC or any other treatment, they give you this, they give you that, and that's it.
You try to avoid using facility names.
Right,
So.
and they put you right out there.
Okay.
And now you ain't got nowhere to go, you ain't got nothing to stand on.
Right.
And that's it.
So you do 3 months of programming
Four
there, 4 months, and then you go out and you have to find your own
Everything.
support groups.
Everything.
4 months we're homeless. If we don't have something lined up, we're homeless.
And most people don't care. Like I said, we're not going to say any particular name, but most of these facilities, they care that you don't have a place to live.
No.
So when you say you're homeless, what does that mean? That means you have to find out.
It means when your date is up, they put something on your door telling you to clear the premises at a
You ain't
certain
got
time.
nowhere to take it, they go store something.
A camera is rolling, just to let you know. Okay, so after you do your program, you have to find a place to live, and so if you do not have a place to live, then you go to a shelter.
If the
So-
shelter has room.
Yeah.
If
But when you first get there, they do state, and they both take all those applications and start
Fill them
signing
out
for
right away.
housing now.
Okay,
But
because it
that-
usually takes what, 4 months to find a place?
But that's kind of a catch 2022 because they require you to be in group from 9 o'clock till 3.
Okay,
When you get done with group, by the time you get somewhere to fill out an application, the place is closed.
okay. So how do you take a day off? Do you have to do group every day from 9 to 3?
Yes.
You have to get it okayed before you can even
You
visit.
need that other person to tell you, hey,
Mhm.
I noticed you've been doing, you know, you might get it, defensive, but they just being a friend to you, just letting you know. And sometimes you don't see it in yourself.
Right.
And this class too,
It's a such thing as constructive criticism.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
But I think that we have walls, so sometimes even though people give us constructive criticism, because we have walls and we're so used to being abused and talked down to, that somebody doesn't know, again, it's the fruit. You done triggered you and they don't know why they triggered you.
Right.
And we have found that out in this class, that the more we talk about our issues, the more alike we are, the more,
The more commonalities
Yeah.
we have among us.
and it makes you have more of a tolerance for another person.
And empathy.
Yeah.
Not sympathy, but empathy.
Yeah, which is very different. You can feel sorry for somebody.
We're understanding with each other.
Say it again.
It's a common ground that I think that we all come to, and it's an understanding that we have amongst each other, and just having compassion for each person, because we've all been through stuff.
And like I told you, I've been an addict for over 20 years. That's more than a career.
Yeah.
I already know how that lives. I'm just willing to step out the box and humble myself and see what's out there on the other side. And that you really have to be humble. I mean, I've been here a whole year and I'm still not in my own space.
Well, it's gonna take.
It's gonna come.
Yeah.
But I'm at peace with that because when I had control of it, I was out of control.
See, when you that's
I
powerful,
was out
because
of
when you think you have control, you're really out of control.
Exactly, and I was. So I've just come to times in my life, I'll let somebody else drive. I'll sit in the back seat. I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
Wow. And sometimes that's what you have to do. But we are, again, it's that because you've been abused or you've been through whatever you've been through, you say, I'm not going to never let anybody treat me like that again. And so you put up walls and you're defensive rather than somebody that's and even when you go to a doctor, he got to touch that painful spot. He got to sometimes cut that wound open and I noticed a girl shouting, some of y'all are eating, and let that pus come out so that you can get that infection out. You know, people just want to put a Band-Aid over it when you really need to address it. Yeah, just get it. You have to really get it. And that's what, in this class, you can't come in here the faint at heart. You know, if you can't deal with your issues, you can't take somebody really just coming at you. Because y'all know we have had some discussions in here, right? We've had some discussions, stuff has manifested. We done talked about everything that everybody is doing, from street walking, folks are in denial that they was a street walker, you know, and we had to just come in their face. And some people can handle that, some people cannot. So to hear somebody like Kim say, you just got to go for broke, that's what you have to do in a class like this. And you really have to realize, I cannot do this not only without God, but without the help of somebody else that has been where I've been.
Exactly.
And I personally have not been where you all have been.
Right.
So in order for me to go in and pull somebody out on crack, or pull somebody out that is street walking, or pull somebody out that's been drinking, it's hard for me because I've been in the church all my life. What you saying? You got something to say, Felicia? She said,
I think it's important too for us when we return to society, for us to claim it.
What do you mean by claim it?
To claim what we're going to do.
Okay.
And to plan.
Okay.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Okay.
And then have the faith and carry it out.
Okay. See, now you all have some awesome teachings, and I'm just wondering, who do y'all put those teachings on? Because what you say, if you don't plan, say that again. Because see, that's powerful.
Plan, then you plan to fail.
That's good. Okay. So you have to make a plan. And like you were saying earlier, you got all these things you got to do once you get out.
Oh yeah.
And it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
So how do you say to take it one by day? How do you put it in the hands of God? How do you find peace?
Let your will be done, not my own.
Yeah. Now you say that.
Being an addict, the first thing we want is instant gratification.
Okay.
You want what you want, when you want it, how you want it, when you want it, and you want it right now.
Okay.
And the hardest thing for an addict to hear is no.
Okay.
So you have to change your mind. When I first started reading the Bible, I didn't know what die and for and where thou and all that stuff means. So I went to different churches to try and find the truth out for myself. And then I came to my own conclusion of what God means to me. And once I started understanding the word, then I was able to have a better relationship with him. Because the old dictionary, I didn't know, he didn't speak on my terms, you know. The church that I knew, I was always convicted a sinner, and the preacher was shouting at me. So I didn't know that God loved me. I thought he was going to punish and condemn me and send me to hell.
Okay. Now when different ones of you were incarcerated, how much God did you get in your incarceration time? So how much of this did you understand behind the wall?
I think that's where I really found the understanding.
I think so for me
I think
too.
that's where I had
That's
enough
where I
time.
had my spiritual awakening.
Okay.
Enough
China,
time
you were trying to say
allow
something
him to
too.
take my hand.
Yeah. Go ahead. So you found it behind the wall where you just sat down and everything else was kind of taken care of, so you could hear.
Right, I didn't have all the
I
responsibilities.
had clarity. Yeah.
And I allowed myself to let God take my hand and to guide me and to help me.
Okay. So you have to allow him.
I think so.
Okay.
I think in those times is when God really wanted us the most. I've always had a relationship with God, and I think that's another thing. I think it's important for everybody to have their own relationship with God, because everybody, even though the word, it all says the same thing. How you interpret it and how you're going to deal with it, and the faith that you're going to have is going to depend on you. Now, I think when we were incarcerated, even if we did have a relationship with him or we didn't, it brought us closer to him. And then you still have a choice to worship him, not worship him. You didn't have to go to the services. You didn't have to be in your room reading the Bible. It was still up to you if you wanted that relationship. But I think when we are incarcerated, we really realize, I can't do this without him.
Right. So what happens when you come on and you're not incarcerated? Because people are falling. Let's just be real. People are falling. People do good when they first get out because they thought they had God. Then they get out here and all of these cares hit them and people are falling. We're hearing about some of our very people that have sat in this class with us that are now using again, that are doing things that they got free from. So what happens when you get out here and you think you don't need God?
Well, see, that's the first mistake right there, because if you think you don't need them, then you bound to fall.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you don't need them, because you have all type of distractions in the world that you don't have in there. So I think it's all about your faith and what you want to do. You have to want to stay on the path first of all.
Okay.
If you don't, you're going to fall. Anyway.
Okay.
You have to have a made up mind.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because
Enough is
if you
enough.
double minded, you're not standing firm on anything. And I guess I'm just at a point in my life where I had to stand for something or I fought for anything.
Mhm.
And I already know
Mhm.
what the world has done for me and what it has caused me to live. And
Right.
I'm just ready to try something new and just be transformed with the renewing of my mind and correct the inequities of my family, because like you said, we don't just affect ourselves, we affect our children and our children's
Mhm.
children.
Yeah.
And it needs to stop. It's mutual.
So this class, you all know I go to the root of it. Because we have said time and time again, it's not the fruit, it's not the acting out, it's not the addictions, it's not the selling yourself. It is the root. It's something that hasn't been addressed that got you acting up.
Exactly.
So you have to get to that and you have to deal with that.
You have to find the root.
You have to find it and you have to look at it as painful as it is, because that's why most people are medicating that pain.
Because they don't want to deal with that.
Say it again. Admittance. And admittance is what percentage of your healing? 80%. 80%. She said 90 for men, okay? Because when you can admit it, and that means I'm going to look at this thing, and I'm not going to blame anybody else for why I didn't get it. I can't blame mama. I can't blame the person that abused me. I can't blame anybody else. I can stop it. And you can take control and you can get your power back.
You can't fix a problem if you don't know it's a problem there, if you don't realize it's.
Very good.
You
You have to change your mind first of all.
Yes, and your behavior.
Okay.
This isn't just a stopping
Yeah.
of the addiction.
What happens after a year of recovery? You fall off. What happens? I mean, I'm just trying to. I've had people that have said 9 months. It's been a year.
Then I think you need to look at where you went wrong.
Okay.
And address those.
And look at
Yeah.
what your
Okay.
motives
So
were.
does that mean you really didn't want it, or did it?
No, I don't think you.
I'm just asking.
No.
It just means you fell off. So if you fall off, can you get back on again, or you got to start from ground zero?
You can get knocked down, but it's up to you if you're gonna stay down.
Okay.
But see, the thing that I'm learning in this Christian walk and with my recovery is, if I'm trying to be renewed and transformed, I'm not going to keep dancing with the devil. I'm not going to keep going with them friends that's drinking them 40 ounces in them tall cans.
There you go.
I'm not going to surround myself around those people. I have to get with people that are Christ-centered. That's why all the meetings and stuff that I go to, they are Christ-centered.
Okay.
My support network, I go out there and I volunteer. Even on the days I don't want to do it, I do it anyway.
Is it
So-
easy to change your people, places, and things?
Nothing about this journey is easy.
Oh, I like you.
Nothing about it is easy.
Okay.
I think first you have to change. First, anything that's worth having is worth working for anyway.
Okay.
But first you have to change.
Anything that's worth having is worth working for.
Yes.
Oh, yes, sir, I'm stealing all you're saying. Come on. I think I got a teacher up in the house. Come on
I
here.
think that first we have to change our way of thinking
Mm-hmm.
first. Then we change our people, places, and things.
Okay.
And then you have to let go and let God.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I said I'm going to do this program, even though, like she said, they have us in groups all day.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'm going to do this, I'm going to do the program, and then for me, I still have someone else I have to answer to for as my scheduling.
Right.
My rules don't apply to their rules. It's
Okay.
not the same. So I said I'm going to do what they want me to do. I'm going to do what ISR wants me to do, and I'm going to let God handle the rest.
So are you doing it just because you have to answer to somebody, or are you doing it for you?
I'm doing
I.
it for me.
Okay.
And when I told my testimony, I said yes. I said they told me if you don't stop smoking weed, if you don't stop drinking, then you go into prison. I said, yeah, I did it because they told me I wasn't going to prison, that I was going to prison. But it made me feel good in the long run. I don't even want to smoke weed today. I don't even want to drink today. And I'm 2 months from being off parole now.
Yay!
Yes.
And that's gonna be an awesome feeling, right?
I'm in school. I go to nail tech school. I go to culinary arts school. I still managed to finish all the groups at the program and graduated. And I'm still managed to graduate from my ISR. And I just found me a place, and I've been clean, so it does work.
Okay. See, and that's what they need to hear. That's an awesome testimony. So you have to replace that addiction with something.
Yeah.
So you have to find yourself. And see, you're finding yourself because you said you're in school. You're in 2 different classes, correct? You said culinary and
arts and esthetician and nail technician.
okay. So you found your little niche. So how hard is it to find your niche? And I know for you ladies, you're just not getting back out here. Is that right? This is just kind of brand new for you versus they've been out a minute. So is it hard to find your niche? Yeah, let me hear from this corner over here. Is it hard finding your niche? Yes, ma'am.
I think that a lot of people read too much into that for us finding your niche. It could be anything that you like doing. Then that means that that's your craft, that's your art.
Right.
And you should stand on that and take it forward.
Right.
That's your gift.
Yes, that's your gift, that's your talent. You could be good at beading.
Okay.
You could be good at watching children.
Right. Absolutely. We need everybody. We need everybody because if we didn't have nobody watching the kid, you can't lock me in no house with no children. I'm gonna tell you something. You can't. I don't do kids.
That's not for you. That's not for you.
So you're right. So you have to find somebody that just goes, I love children. And got, I saw a lady on TV, she had 2 or 3 daycares. I was like, Lord bless her. You can't do it for the money.
Right.
You have to do it because you love the children.
Right. And they say where a purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Okay. So, but I'm asking these ladies here. So finding your purpose.
I think I've always known what I wanted to do with my life for a very long time. And I think after the first stint in prison, sitting 2.5 years in prison and getting out, that first time I left God at the door when I left. And that's the way that I
What do you mean when you say you left him at the door? He stayed in jail?
No, not that he stayed in jail, but I abandoned him.
The relationship.
Okay.
I lost that relationship with him, and I thought, I got this.
Okay.
I got this. I can do this. And I did nothing but fall flat on my face.
Okay.
Because I wasn't strong enough to do it on my own. I thought I could do it. I just sat 2.5 years in prison. I can do this. Well, you can't just, okay, thanks.
Do you think most people think you're a wimp if you find God in prison and then you come out? Do you?
I really don't
Oh, when they grow
know.
up.
Yeah. They think you're a wimp, that you're using that as a crutch or as an excuse until you get out again. And maybe there are some people that do that, but it's like you said, you have to not care because there was one lady that was in, and all she talked about Jesus was, I'm just being honest, the whole time she was there. And now she's out, and she's tore it from the floor up. But when she was in there, it was Jesus 24, all in class, every other word was Jesus. And to the point where the people were like looking at her like, okay, that's too much. And then when she got out, like you said, Jesus stayed in, or you left him at the door.
Yeah, I abandoned him, and I thought, okay, well, he's got me this far. Okay, now I can do this. I can do this on my own. And I let go of him. Well, that was the first mistake right there because that's when I started to slip.
Did you feel like you really had a relationship with God or just His Word? Or with His Word? Do you feel like because you said you left Him. Did you feel bad about leaving Him?
Like stop talking to him. Like,
yeah, that's what I know what you mean. Did it bother you that you stopped talking to Him or did you do like you said, I got this?
She wasn't thinking.
Right.
She got out.
The distractions probably had her so much she didn't
I
have
was
time
more
to
focused
think.
on other things than that.
The distractions.
And
More of this.
I
When it was
fell
all
into it.
over, did you realize where you went wrong?
Absolutely. And then when I got arrested again and I was sentenced to go back to prison for 5 more months, I knew that that was my opportunity. That was his way of saying, hey, okay, now you see what I'm going, where I'm going with this, you know? And it was like, okay, and I knew that I needed to surrender myself again. And
Now, I know that some of you go to churches and have churches, but aside from this group, are there any other Christian-based groups that you all go to? Aside from your churches that are affiliated with where any of you are at the moment?
Right after this, I go to ICCM for worship.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I can speak on behalf because by the rest of God, I'm done with parole, I'm done with treatment facilities, all of that have been done since April, but I still keep coming and I still check in with the treatment facility that I graduated from because I just want to stay grounded and I want to be able to help that newcomer that comes in.
That's
so
awesome.
they can know that somebody is there and there's somebody that is struggling but still not using no matter what. You know, and I just have to remember to keep it humble. But in the facilities, no. But there are support groups like this. But I think they should introvert them into the facilities and at least make it optional. Just like they have AA and NA and cultural things, I think they should make it optional for the people that do want it, and that if their plate is too full to do it outside a group, they should introvert it into the facility.
And most people don't know what we do here. It's almost like this is like a little secret club or something. Because
I tell them.
you tell them.
I'm sick of telling them. Okay, fine. Well, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him
You
drink.
can plant the
So,
seed.
I can give you the information if you don't use it, then that's my
That's
job.
their lives,
It's
not ours.
I'm
You
not
can
gonna
plant the seed,
sell it.
all
I'm
you
gonna
can do
keep
is
on
wait for
selling
it to
different
grow.
individuals.
I talked about this Sunday at Shakopee.
The City of David, founded 2005, TCOD Inc., has positively influenced many of all ages, genders, and ethnicities. TCOD Inc. has also received numerous testimonies of how our services and teaching materials have restored hope as well as changed lives. Partnering with TCOD and Dr. Dory McKnight will provide you with an exceptional and meaningful opportunity to reach people with the gospel of Jesus Christ. As a partner, you'll be an integral part of building God's kingdom and restoring lives, and you'll be valued for what you make possible for others. We are reaching out in 3 different ways. Help a Sister Out Prison Ministry. The number of incarcerated men and women and their families suffering physical, emotional, and mental abuse are steadily increasing. They are reaching out for help, but who is there to rehabilitate them? Who is providing them with a safe place of healing where they can uncover and overcome the issues they face? Who can provide them with the life skills to develop the healthy mentality required to achieve their true purpose in life? Our Help a Sister Out program, HASO, can. Since January 2009, HASO has taught 12-week sessions at the Shakopee Correctional Facility. Healing University. As an extension to the classes we have taught in the correctional system, we have available Healing University, or Healing U, which offers correspondence courses for those who would like to continue their education and receive accreditation. And through the help of Dr. Dory McKnight as a mentor, speaker, teacher, author, and life skills coach, by providing wisdom keys on topics that inspire and motivate people to succeed in meeting their goals and aspirations, to accomplish purpose, improve relationships, increase personal growth, and find the key to true prosperity. As a teacher, by providing truths that stem from biblical principles, using biblical characters who have faced relatable challenges to change mindsets and to provide personal enlightenment and alignment that is needed to function successfully in your professional, spiritual, and personal environment.